Even when their characters are supposed to hate each other, actors are supposed to keep it professional on the set of their films and not throw any legitimate punches. However, there have been a few notable times over the course of Hollywood history where two actors on set have become so enraged with one another that things got legitimately physical. From LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx on the set of Any Given Sunday to George Clooney and David O. Russell on the set of Three Kings. Join Trender as we take a look at why these actors got in violent fistfights with their co-stars. LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx. The first two actors we'll be taking a look at are LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx, who got into a physical altercation while filming Oliver Stone's 1998 football drama Any Given Sunday. In the film, the two actors played competing football players, and it seems that LL Cool J was intent on making his portrayal as realistic as possible. Jamie Foxx allegedly didn't like how rough LL Cool J was being with him during the filming of the movie, and it got to the point where Jamie couldn't take it anymore. During the filming of one scene, Jamie apparently snapped and punched his co-star in the face. Shooting of the picture was eventually successfully finished, and the film was released to critical acclaim. Richard Pryor and Harvey Keitel. Richard Pryor was a star that was known to be pretty adamant about getting his way on the set of films, and some of the most notorious stories involving the beloved comedian come from the filming of Paul Schrader's 1978 directorial debut Blue Collar. The filmmaker had just come off of writing the script for the hit film Taxi Driver, and he was likely feeling like he was at the top of the world. Despite the confidence that Paul came into the filming of Blue Collar with, this confidence was put to the test when Richard Pryor allegedly pulled a gun on him because the latter figure didn't want to have to do any more takes. While the story of Richard Pryor pulling a gun on Paul Schrader is certainly one for the ages, this is far from being the only notable altercation that supposedly occurred during the filming of Blue Collar. It has been alleged that Richard also got into physical altercations with both of his main co-stars on the film, with the more notable of the two altercations occurring with fellow legend Harvey Keitel. Richard Pryor's two co-stars on the set of Blue Collar were Yaphet Kotto and Harvey Keitel, both of whom Richard Pryor allegedly got into physical altercations with during the filming of the movie. Richard was said to have thrown a chair at Yaphet because Richard thought that the actor was trying to upstage him, while he was said to have thrown a punch at Harvey Keitel for some undisclosed reason. Bill Murray and Lucy Liu. The film Charlie's Angels, which was released in the year 2000, was a pretty big deal for Lucy Liu. Lucy starred in the film as one of its three titular angels, alongside bigger stars Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz. Although Lucy wasn't as big of a star as the other two and didn't get paid the same amount to appear in the film, the picture gave the actress the opportunity to show cinema audiences that she could hold her own alongside the best of the best. As a result of Lucy Liu being the underdog on the set of the film, the shooting of Charlie's Angels was, allegedly, a little difficult for her. This matter wasn't helped by co-star Bill Murray, who allegedly had a habit of getting impatient with Lucy on set. Bill has always been a largely demanding figure on the set of his films, and he claims that he was upset with Lucy because of her lack of professionalism. When Bill made a remark about Lucy flubbing her lines, the actress decided that it was time to make things physical. Lucy threw several punches at Bill on the set of the film, and the incident became legendary. Notably, Bill Murray wouldn't return to reprise his role in the film's sequel several years later. Bill Murray and Chevy Chase. The aforementioned incident on the set of Charlie's Angels wasn't the first time that Bill Murray had ever been attacked on set. 2 decades prior, when Bill was just starting out on the series Saturday Night Live, he got into a physical altercation with Chevy Chase. Chevy had been one of the very first stars of this seminal comedy series. When Chevy left the show to start his Hollywood career, Bill Murray was brought on to replace him. This was all well and good, until one third season episode when Chevy was poised to return to the show for the first time to perform hosting duties. When Chevy came back to Saturday Night Live to host it, there quickly arose some tension between him and Bill Murray. Things ended up getting physical, and the fight had to be broken up by Bill's brother, Brian Doyle Murray. Chevy already had a reputation at the time for being fairly difficult to work with, and Bill Murray quickly followed suit by building up a negative reputation of his own. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit the like button to show your support. Also, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be among the first to know when more awesome Trender videos are on their way. Sylvester Stallone and Richard Gere. In the early 1970s, when Sylvester Stallone and Richard Gere were both still trying to make it big in Hollywood, the two reportedly got into a physical altercation while they were filming the movie The Lords of Flatbush together. Sylvester and Richard apparently just didn't get along much, and this was exacerbated by the fact that the two were expected to film a fight scene together. Although the fight scene ended up going off without a hitch, an incident that occurred shortly afterwards caused Sylvester and Richard to break out into a fight for real. The fight started because Richard got chicken grease on Sylvester's leg while the two were having lunch. Following their altercation on the set of Lords of Flatbush, both Sylvester Stallone and Richard Gere went on to become major Hollywood stars. Sylvester's big break came thanks to the 1976 film Rocky, which the star had also written the script for. Several years later, Richard Gere's big break would come in the form of his performance in the 1982 motion picture An Officer and a Gentleman. Sylvester and Richard would allegedly almost fight once more while attending a party at Elton John's house. According to Elton John, the two nearly got into a fistfight competing for Princess Diana. Steven Seagal and John Leguizamo. Steven Seagal is one celebrity figure that has certainly been known to let his ego get in the way when it comes to healthy on-set relationships. On the set of Executive Decision, Steven Seagal apparently had to get physical with co-star John Leguizamo in order to show the latter figure that he was boss. Steven had apparently taken a disliking to John and decided that he needed to confront the younger star and tell him who was in control on the set of the film. Steven approached John and told him that while the latter figure was performing on the film, Steven's word was law. John Leguizamo had a hard time taking Sylvester Stallone seriously, which resulted in him chuckling at the more famous actor's behavior. Once Sylvester realized that John was laughing at him, the more established actor reportedly elbowed the younger comic in the stomach. John fell to the ground holding his guts, and apparently kept his mouth shut during the remainder of Executive Decision's shoot. Shia LaBeouf and Tom Hardy. Besides Steven Seagal, a newer star that has developed a reputation for being fairly difficult to work with is Shia LaBeouf. Shia has had numerous controversies over the course of his career, with one of the biggest controversies stemming from his alleged fistfight with co-star Tom Hardy on the set of the 2012 film Lawless. According to director John Hillcoat, Shia and Tom had an incredibly hard time getting along on the set of the film, and they ended up getting into a physical altercation that had to be broken up. According to Tom Hardy, Shia LaBeouf nearly knocked him out. A few years after filming Lawless, Shia LaBeouf was working on the film Fury in 2014. The film also starred Brad Pitt, and there was a scene in which Shia and Brad Pitt had to get physical. It seems that Shia was a bit too eager to impress his more experienced co-star, which resulted in him punching Brad a little bit harder than expected. Thankfully, Brad took the incident okay, and they ended up bonding over it. George Clooney and David O. Russell. The last violent fistfight that we'll be taking a look at occurred between George Clooney and director David O. Russell on the set of the 1999 war film Three Kings. The pair's relationship had grown contentious during the picture's filming as a result of David's strict demands, and things ended up getting physical as a result of miscommunication. George had allegedly told David to be nicer to the rest of the cast and crew. When George saw David yelling at a crew hand, he stepped in to defend the worker. David didn't take kindly to George's intrusion and subsequently insulted the actor's ability to memorize his lines. Upon hearing the insult, George attacked the director. Understandably, the two have yet to work together on a film again. Although actors are supposed to keep things professional on the sets of their films, this is sometimes easier said than done. Now it's time to hear from you. Did you know that Richard Pryor pulled a gun on first-time director Paul Schrader because he didn't want to have to do any more takes? And that Bill Murray has gotten to physical altercations with two different Hollywood stars? As always, like this video to show your support and subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be among the first to know when more awesome Trender videos are on their way.